Well, hello everybody. Greg Cumming here from Good News for Israel. Time to take 5 and Selah. Just means let's just gather our thoughts and hearts towards the Lord and think about Him for a few minutes and just refresh ourselves in Him. We're looking at this grand subject of the earth is the Lord's in its fullness because in Genesis chapter 12 verse 7 the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your descendants I will give this land." And there he built an altar to the Lord who had appeared to him. So to continue with the larger meaning of this small phrase, "to your descendants I will give this land," let's now fast forward from that time with Abram 400 years or so to when the Lord delivered the children of Israel from slavery in Egypt. Now when the children of Israel arrived at Mount Sinai, God called Moses up to the mountain. And listen carefully to the words that the Lord used in Exodus chapter 19, starting in verse 3. "And Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain, saying, 'Thus you shall say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, you have seen what I did to the Egyptians, and how I bore you on eagle's wings, and brought you to myself. Now therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice, and keep my covenant, then you shall be a special treasure to me above all people, for the earth is mine. And you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak to the children of Israel.'" So here is the first use of this statement, "the earth is mine," i.e. the earth is the Lord's. And what is the situation and theme about which the Lord uses it? Who is he addressing? He's addressing the house of Jacob. And who are they? They're the descendants of Abram, of course. So he drew their attention to his miracle power upon the Egyptian enslavers. How did he deliver them from slavery? He said he bore them on eagle's wings, which is another idiom, which means that he sustained them miraculously on their travels through the Red Sea and the desert. And how he brought them to himself. Where? Here on Mount Sinai, called the Mountain of God. And then this challenge begins from the Lord. "If you obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be a special treasure to me." What an honour to be a special treasure of God himself. And then he says, "and above all people." All is all. He's placed his descendants above all people. Then he says, "for the earth is mine." And there's that statement again. It just keeps popping up. But of course, every one of the Israelites was aware of the great promise to Abram regarding the promised land when God had said, "To your descendants I will give this land." So the Lord reminded them here at Mount Sinai that it was his land to give, and that he was in the process of doing exactly that. But he's reteaching them that this whole process involves freedom from slavery, leaving behind the foreign gods and giving wholehearted allegiance to God in both word and deed. You'll find these things come together, these phrases. But what comes next on Mount Sinai is going to blow you away, because it reveals the key to that statement. The earth is mine, or the earth is the Lord's. But like all treasure, you have to dig a bit, and we're going to dig into the Hebrew to find it, because you can't see it in the English. So why don't you just take a moment, pause and thank the Lord for just setting you free from the slavery of sin when you believed in the Messiah, Jesus. And why don't you pause and consider whether you have really left behind your foreign idols, things like amulets or witch doctors or animism, even the worship of ancestors, but also modern day idols that bring worldliness and distraction from God. It's very hard to move forward strongly and inherit what he has for you without shedding those things, those idols, and things that prevent you reaching out to God. So there's something to think about today. Why don't you spend a little bit longer with the Lord and start to reflect on your life over those things. Well, the Lord bless you. I pray you have a super day, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.